Hi everyone, I am Lovelyn Tababa and I'm with Ronel B. Bungkawil. The topic that was assigned to us is all about VAT registration. Under the tax code, which is the National Internal Revenue Code, VAT registration is classified into two, the mandatory registration and the optional registration. So, mandatory registration. Mandatory registration are follows this criteria. Any person or entity who in the course of his sales, barters, exchanges, lease, goods or properties and renders subjects are subject to VAT. If the aggregate amount of actual sales or receipts is exceeding 3 million, then you are subject to file a VAT registration as a VAT registered entity. The next criteria, radio and television broadcasting companies whose annual gross receipt of the preceding year exceeds 10 million, mandatory registration applies within 30. So, in radio and broadcasting company, if the annual gross exceeds 10 million, then you are also mandated to registered entity. So criteria number 1, if ang benta ay exceed siya 3 million, then subject gihapon ka nga mo registered as a registered VAT entity. Then number 2, if there is a number 1 is 3 million, then number 2 is mga, for example, company ABS-CBN, GMA, TV5. If ang ilang annual gross is ni-exceed siya 10 million, subject gyapon siya nga mo file og VAT registration sa BIR.
Optional registration. Any person who is VAT exempt or not required to register for VAT may elect to be VAT registered by registering with the RDO that has jurisdiction over the head office of that person and pay the annual registration fee for every separate and distinct establishment. Any person who elects to register under optional registration shall not be allowed to cancel his registration for the next 3 years. It means nga pwede ka maparegister pero optional lang. If you are a VAT exempt person or those are not required to register for VAT, you may elect or magdesisyon ka nga maparegister ka sa VAT og maato ka sa RDO or asa nakaregister imong business og magbayad kag annual registration fee for every separate and distinct establishment. Once you opted to register or to enroll as VAT, dili na mo makancel basta-basta. Makancel na nimo na siya for the next 3 years. Next is number 2. Franchise guarantees of radio or television broadcasting whose annual gross receipts of the preceding year do not exceed 10 million pesos, derived from the business covered by the law granting the franchise may opt for VAT registration. This option, once exercised, shall be irrevocable under Section 119 Tax Code. It means nga pwede maparegister if they want. However, once you elect this option, it is already irrevocable. Dili na pwede i-cancel, dili na pwede atruhon ug wala na ibawian once nga nag-select ka na or nag-transfer na. Unlike sa VAT-exempt person or those not required to register for VAT but they elected to do so, pwede pa sila magpa-cancel pero after 3 years pa. But for the franchise grantees of radio and or television broadcasting companies and irrevocable na ang option and it's final. Cancellation of registration. Instances when a VAT registered person may cancel his VAT registration. When is the time na pwede mag-cancel? Please take note nga ang radio grantees and television broadcasting companies is dili na applicable ani nga option kay irrevocable naman. Only criteria number one ang pwede mag-cancel after 3 years kung if he makes a written application and can demonstrate to the commissioner's satisfaction that his gross sales or receipts for the following 12 months other than those that are exempt will not exceed 3 million, or if he has ceased to carry on his trade or business and does not expect to recommence any trade or business within the next 12 months. For example, na ako negosyo, pero naapektuhan sa pandemic o nakaregister na ko sa VAT. Pero dili pa ko makapag-recommend sa akong negosyo kay wala kayo customer o wala kayo kita. So, pwede na ako ipa-cancel ang akong registration sa VAT. The cancellation for the registration will be effective from the first day of the following month the cancellation was approved. It means ang cancellation ng VAT registration kay effective na siya by the first day of the following month. Next is the power of the commissioner to suspend business operations. When is the time that the commissioner of the Internal Revenue or CIR can suspend a business operation? The commissioner of the Internal Revenue or his authorized representative may order suspension or closure of business establishment for a period of not less than 5 days for any of the following violations. One is failure to issue receipts or invoices. Two is failure to file VAT return. Three is understatement of taxable sales or receipts by 30% or more of the following correct taxable sales or receipts for the taxable quarter. And four is failure of any person to register as required under the law.